Good morning, everyone. It's 8:59. Give it about a minute before I get going. Give everyone a minute to hop on. Hopefully my service keeps. We are just coming into San Antonio area, and my service does not like to always keep up. Let me see if I can do the reduce background noise, enhance voice. Let's see if that does any better. It worked pretty well last time. I don't have a mic on today, so hopefully everyone can hear me okay. My name is Sandra Waldrop, Kingdom Acres, and today we are doing our herbal crash course. I have a keynote presentation, but unfortunately Facebook has taken away the ability to screen share, and it has also taken away the ability to flip from left to right. So like you see on my shirt, it's backwards. Before you could flip it to where you could read, and then I was like, well, then I could just hold up my iPad. I'm like, oh wait, nobody's gonna be able to read that because it's backwards. So Facebook isn't playing nice with me. That's okay. What I've done is I have made this PDF available through my Etsy store. You can find the link in the event that's posted, or there's also a post on just my normal Kingdom Acres feed where I have the link posted there as well. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and hopefully people will jump on. As you jump on, please feel free to say good morning and let me know where you're watching from. So I'm calling this plant medicine and holistic health. Plant medicine using plants, okay? There are other things that are included in holistic health, like colloidal silver. I don't have that listed in my keynote presentation because I will be doing a separate class where I discuss things like colloidal silver and food grade hydrogen peroxide, stuff like that. I'll do those in a separate class. So today is mostly plant medicine. Just as a disclaimer, please double check any and all information on your own, mostly because you want to be building a relationship with these plants, these resources, and also check with your physician, because like if you have any issues that could potentially become worse with some of these things, that's a possibility. Just because something's a plant does not mean that it can't hurt you. In fact, most of the compounds in the synthetic medicines that you would get from an allopathic doctor, they are imitated from plant medicine. So also, as with anything, you want to make sure that you're not taking anything that you could possibly be allergic to. Again, I'm not a physician. I don't know your body. I don't hold a PhD. So do your research, make sure you're doing what's right for your body. And then also just remember that this is just a crash course. I'm covering the basics. I'm skimming the top of a very deep topic, okay? I can go on and on and on with this, and I will do several classes over the next year and possibly beyond. But just know that you're getting very basic information. See, I have one viewer. Oh, I can't I can't see comments, but good morning, good morning, good morning if you're just joining me. Okay, so what is herbalism? Let's start there, very basic. What is herbalism? Herbalism is the study of botany and the use of plants intended for medicinal purposes or for supplementing a diet. There are 3 different ways that plants are used in this manner. One is just in your food, like just through diet. You're adding your pepper to your eggs, you're putting rosemary on your chicken. It is just food, right? Nutritionally. Then you have therapeutic, where you are you're using plant-based what's the word I'm looking for? You're using the plant-based products to support your body, to help your body do the things that you're needing it to do, maybe to get over a cold, maybe to support your liver. Sorry for the shaking. I have you on my little stand, but we're zooming over some construction, so the road's a little shaky. And then you have your pharmaceutical levels, where you are really hitting it hard. You're taking very high doses of these compounds to try to heal your body, okay? So typically whole plant medicine is what you're referring to when you're talking about herbalism. Things like oils would be closer to allopathic medicine, because when you use essential oils, that's only one part of the plant, right? It's been extracted, and you're only using one part of it, and you are not using the whole plant, okay? You should know that there are a great many there are a great many herbalism schools out there, and they are more than happy to take all of your money, as much money as they can possibly get out of you, and give you a certificate to call yourself an herbalist. I'm going to tell you right now that that is highway robbery. Herbalism is a skill that used to be passed down from generation to generation. There is no certification board in the United States, meaning that I could issue you a certificate, call myself an herbalist academy or college, give you a certificate, even though I don't have any credentials, because there are no real credentials to be had. Okay, so it's all basically somebody who says that they have the knowledge telling other people, yes, they have the knowledge, charging them a buttload of money, and then giving them a piece of paper so they can feel good about it. And that's putting it bluntly. I apologize if that offends anybody, but there is no board. There's no standard. You can't lose a license for malpractice. So anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. Plant medicine should be learned as a means of passing down information, not as a means to become rich. I just don't agree with that. So anyways, so what kinds of plants are used? All kinds of plants are used. Weeds, things that people like to spray Roundup on. Trees, fruit plants, vegetable plants, different parts of vegetable plants, air plants, like the Spanish moss, That's an air plant. That's a really good one. Mushrooms, herbs, obviously, flowers, and then rhizomes. And rhizomes are kind of like roots, but they're kind of like root fruit, if you will. They're the bigger, chunkier part of the plant. Yes. So I'm getting a question if somebody can go back and watch the live later. Yes, this will be saved on my page, on my Kingdom Acres page. If you are ever, too busy in the time slot that I have dedicated to share information with you, it saves. I always set it to keep forever. I know on some lives it will delete immediately, or after 30 days, I tell it, do not delete my content, so it stays. So you are always able to come back and watch and review and do whatever. I'm so sorry about the movement of my camera. Okay, so what ways can you use these plants? Syrups and elixirs. A syrup is going to be a product that you make using your plant matter, and you're gonna simmer it into a decoction, which is just basically where you reduce the water and you're just sitting there letting it simmer, and then after it cools to a certain amount, then you add in your honey, a certain amount of honey, to make a syrup. With an elixir, instead of water, you use alcohol and you do not cook it. And then you also add the honey. And then you'll let that sit for 6 to 8 weeks with your plant matter in there. There are extracts. There are different types of extracts. And people like to use the word tincture as a very broad term, but the word tincture means that you have made an extract using alcohol, like vodka or whiskey or something like that, and then plant matter, and that's it. If your extract is made with vinegar, I know some people will call those like a vinegar tincture. It's not a tincture. That would be called an acetum, A-C-E-T-U-M, acetum. Made the same way, it's just with vinegar. And then you have a glycerite, which again, people will call that a tincture. I picked up a tincture the other day that had alcohol and glycerin in it. And I think that's just because the taste of it, like some of these, you know they're healthy because they taste horrible, okay? And the vegetable glycerin has a sweeter taste, so, but that would be called a glycerite if you're just using vegetable glycerin. And then a serum is an extract made with oil. It's basically like an infused oil, okay? And then you have your salves and balms. There's a difference between a salve and a balm. The salve and balm have different quantities of your beeswax in it. And so one is going to sit on top of the skin for longer, and your balm, or your, and the other one is going to absorb faster. It just depends. A hydrosol is going to be something where you're actually going to be collecting the distilled portion of your product when you are simmering it in water with your whole plant, and that way you are getting the water soluble compounds along with those essential oils that are going to come out. And I like using oils in this way because you are getting it in the potency that God intended. When you buy a full bottle of an essential oil, they've used a ton of plants to give you that teeny tiny little bit in that teeny tiny little bottle, which is why you'll find that some companies, you know, put additives now, and some of it is now synthetic. They're adding, you know, fragrance and stuff to the oils, because that's expensive to do. And I feel like it's an abuse of plants. So I'm not saying that I don't ever use essential oils, but I'm saying that it's pretty crazy what it takes to make that, and people go through it like crazy, and it's highly overused. Then you can also, using whole plant matter, again, not essential oils, you can make your lotions, you can make your soaps and shampoos. And then I think most people, what they think of when they think of herbal medicine is a tea. You know, you can have your nice cup of tea when you're sick, and there are different types of teas that are great for different things. But sometimes you need something a little stronger, and that's when you would make an infusion, which for most plants, not every plant, you would use about an ounce of plant matter in a quart-sized jar, and you would, you know, pour your hot water, cap it, let it sit on your countertop for about 24 hours before you strain it and drink it. And that's going to be very strong, and it's going to be therapeutic grade, and you will not drink all of that in a day. You would drink that over a week, a quart-sized jar of infusion over like a week, because it's very strong. Okay, so those are just some of the ways. Those are not all of the ways you can use these plants. And so that's why when I say that this is just a, you know, crash course, I'm not going to get into all of these, because that will be another class where I go deeper with the products. Okay, so I just wanted to give you an overview of some of those. So let's talk about flowers. Right now there is some pretty nasty stuff going around involving you know, upper respiratory health and even lower respiratory health. And so a flower that you can use to support your immune system is going to be roses. You know, rose hips are extremely high in vitamin C. It's going to boost your immune system. It's great for helping recover from viruses. I want to encourage you that if this video is making you car sick because of all the shaking, just listen to it, okay? Don't look at me, just listen to it. Rose petals, though, you know, can be used in a variety of ways, right? They're very soothing to the skin. They can, but they can also be used in an elixir. Again, that's with the alcohol and the honey. And you can make a grief elixir if you've recently lost somebody, if you are going through a life transition that is extremely painful, divorce, you know, things of that nature. Rose petals can definitely help support your mental health during that time. Lavender, great. Lavender is very popular. So it's great for bug bites, rashes, external things on your skin, but it's also great for a sleep aid. I know that it's very big in the essential oil community. Again, I'm just gonna keep bringing that up. But you have to be careful, because in certain doses, lavender can be an endocrine disruptor, meaning that it's going to affect your hormone production and can do more harm than good. So whole plant great essential oils, be careful, okay? Chamomile is literally the only herb that I will recommend to anybody with a child under 1. It's great for, you know, if your baby has colic or, you know, gas or anything like that. And it's good for you. If you are having heartburn, if you're having indigestion, all those things, you can drink some chamomile, and that's great. Also, again, it's great for relaxation. It's good adaptogenic. That's just going to help regulate your nervous system and let your body know that you are not, in fact, being hunted for sport. Okay. Hibiscus. This is a good one. Brings down high blood pressure. Now, if you're on blood pressure medication already, should you go out and make yourself a hibiscus infusion? Probably not, because you're double dosing yourself and you're going to end up on the floor. Okay? Don't do that to yourself. But if you are on the very beginning of that journey, give that a try. Give it a shot, you know. As long as you're not allergic to it or have, you know, a ton of stuff going on, you can even, you know, let your doctor know that you want to give it a try. And a lot of doctors will actually work with you to keep you off of the medication, because the medication has so many side effects, okay? So, high blood pressure is antibacterial, so it's going to help you if you have bacterial pneumonia. It's going to help you if you have any sort of thing like that. You can make a wash with it if you have an infected wound, things of that nature. If you are struggling with constipation, it is a mild laxative, so you're not going to get those strong stomach cramps with it, and it's a great preventative for kidney stones. So really powerful stuff here, guys. Now, I want to talk to you about your weeds, okay? Stop spraying Roundup. First off, just stop it. Just in general. I don't care if it's actually a bad weed or not. It's getting into our drinking water. It's getting into our bathing water. Your skin is literally our largest organ, okay? And we are bathing in Roundup. It's horrible, okay? We are all, I bet you any one of my friends, myself included, if we went and got our blood work done and got our glyphosate levels tested, we would all be through the charts. That's because of the Roundup. Okay, stop it. Okay, goldenrod. Often confused for ragweed. Looks very similar. It grows abundantly many places. Texas, South Texas, we get fields of it, and it is literally such a fantastic support when it comes to allergies, all the nasal congestion, all that, all the funk that you get during the seasonal changes and stuff when everything, you know, starts getting crazy. I had a ton of it grow in my yard a couple years ago, and I just made myself like 2 half-gallon jars of it, and I haven't had to make any more yet. I will this year because we're actually running low, but it's been, I want to say like 2 or 3 years now that I made this, and it's still good. Okay, alcohol is a preservative. Vodka, you're using 100 proof vodka in 50% water, 50% alcohol, and it's going to do an amazing job extracting. Good morning, Miss Nancy. I'm so glad you're on with me again this morning. Okay, so goldenrod, fantastic. Just make sure if you are actually doing any wild crafting that you are getting the goldenrod and not ragweed. And also make sure that you're not allergic, okay? Mullein is fantastic for lung support. It will actually strengthen your lungs, but the plant itself is, green leaf, but fuzzy white hairs all over it. It grows wild all across Texas. But you have to make sure that you're preparing it in a way that the hairs are strained out, because it can actually cause you some issues to get all them little prickly hairs stuck in your throat. So just be careful with that. I actually bought some mullein as a tincture the other day from HEB, which is like a local grocery store that we have here in Texas. But I'm sure you could get it on Amazon if you don't have anybody locally. Then dandelion is great for kidney health, detoxing, improving your digestion, fluid retention, and acne. Be careful when detoxing though, okay? Because detoxing, you're releasing all of these toxins that are being held in your fat cells into your bloodstream to be processed and kicked out. If you don't have something, good morning, Annelle, how are you? If you don't have something to help you process all those toxins, it can make you sick. Okay, so just be mindful of that. You really want to do your research there before you just jump into detoxing. Shepherd's purse is great. Strengthens your capillaries. It can stop hemorrhaging. Now, if you're hemorrhaging, I'm going to tell you to take this on the way to the hospital, okay? Do not take this and be like, oh, I don't need to go to the hospital for my hemorrhaging because I'm taking the shepherd's purse. No, you still need to go to the hospital, sweetheart. Like, please. Remember, I'm not a physician. I'm not giving you solid gospel here that you can, just be like, well, Sandra said. Yes, and Sandra's saying now, take it on the way to the hospital, please. And then, okay, so strengthens capillaries, stops hemorrhaging. It tones the muscles within the intestinal tract, okay? You struggle with things like IBS, things like that. I don't know about you, but I don't know about many workouts for strengthening the muscle tone of your intestinal tract. Like, that's not in your Pilates video or your Taibo video or whatever it is that you do to work out. Like, I don't know, nobody teaching anybody how to like tone their intestinal tract. So shepherd's purse is great for that. Chickweed, again, great for detoxing. Helps with weight loss. Like, it does help with weight loss. I can attest to this. It's great for weight loss. If you've got the phlegm, you got the junk, you got the mucus, it's going to help you cough that out. It is an expectorant, and it also reduces inflammation, which is probably why it's like, oh, you've lost weight. You've probably lost a buttload of inflammation, more so than actual like body fat. Milkweed is fantastic for the butterflies, the pollinators. Fantastic for the pollinators. But it works great for removing warts. Okay, this child right here, you've been seeing her face this whole time I've been live. She had a huge wart, maybe not that big, more like that big, on her ankle for like years and years and years. And I had read about the milkweed, and we were like in Corpus, like I wasn't like out looking for milkweed, but I spotted it and I was like, oh, okay, there's some milkweed. And so I like broke off a little, a little piece of it, got that milky white substance, rubbed it on her wart, and like a month later, like, I completely forgot about it. I forgot that I had done it. We were busy. We had stuff going on. Like a month later, I was like, oh, I forgot I had done this. How's your wart? And she was like, oh yeah, I remember that. We looked and it was completely gone. One treatment, one time, just like wiped it on there, let it dry, didn't think about it again. You know, obviously she had had several baths, all these things in a month's time, at least 5. Just kidding. We're daily bathers. But she had bathed. It only took one treatment and it was gone. Painless. Completely took care of it. I tried it again. I had a little wart right here and I went out into our pasture, broke off a little stem, rubbed it. I let it dry and left it alone, and within a week, with me actually like watching it, within a week it was gone, and it was just like coming off in little chunks. So it was really awesome. Plantain is great for inflammation, promotes wound healing, it's good for digestive health. I'm going to try to kind of speed through this because I don't want to keep you guys on here for super long getting car sick with me. Plantain, great for digestive health. Henbit dead nettle. This is a cute little weed that grows around my neck of the woods. It's actually pretty nutritious if you wanted to just eat it. But it's also great for reducing fever because it will make you sweat. And so sweating is how our body naturally brings down our temperature. And so it's going to induce that sweating. And it's also great for treating achy joints. Yarrow, great for wound treatment, digestion. It's a diuretic, antimicrobial, going to help you with the viruses, and like even bacterial infections. Great for treating pneumonia, and that one also helps with joint pain. Right, the Lord knew that we were going to have some pain in our knees, okay, and our shoulders and all the things, our hips. Trees, okay, moving on to trees. Magnolia bark is great for relieving cold symptoms. It's an expectorant, reduces anxiety and stress. It helps with stomach aches and cramps, and then weight loss when your weight gain was due to stress. It's also antifungal. So if you are a stress eater, if you are a person who just like your body just tends to pack on the weight due to high cortisol levels, this is going to help with that. Willow trees, the leaves and the bark are great. It has the same compounds as aspirin. Aspirin is actually the synthetic form of the compound that's found in these, the acetyl salicylic acid. Great for pain relief, inflammation, and bringing down a fever. We call that a febrifuge. Fun little vocab word there for y'all. Oak bark is great. We've got all these live oaks in South Texas. The oak bark is great for promoting wound healing. It's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. It's astringent. So it's going to help with like oral health and stuff like that. It would be great for like a mouthwash. It's good for treating ailments like asthma, gastric ulcers, and historically it was great for treating people with dysentery. It's very high in antioxidants as well, just really good stuff. Mushrooms. You want to use, and this goes for any wild crafting efforts. You want to use at least 3 different sources to make sure that what you're looking at is what you're looking at, and you know in your knower what you're harvesting, okay? Turkey tail mushrooms, Great for immunity, your gut health. It's gonna support your natural gut flora. It is so good for your liver. And it's high, again, in antioxidants. Then there's the oyster mushroom, which is nutrient rich, high in antioxidants. It promotes heart health. It's great for regulating blood sugar, supporting, again, your immune system. Most of these support your immune system. When everything else is running great, your body doesn't have to think about constantly healing you. Good morning, Erin. How are you? So, again, great for your immune system. It's anti-tumoral. So, again, you know, it's high in those antioxidants. It's going to keep your cells from mutating and growing all crazy and becoming tumors. Good for the gut. I think I said that. And it's anti-inflammatory. Great for regulating blood sugar. Reishi mushrooms, again with the immune system. Great for that. Fights cancer. It fights fatigue and depression. So if you're one of those coffee drinkers with the mushroom mix in it, and it has, make sure it has reishi, because it's going to brighten your mood too. It's not just going to support all the gut flora and things, but it's going to make you happier. We could all use a little bit of that, huh? Promote your heart health and also regulate blood sugar. Mushrooms are so good for that. We're at 9:35. Okay, good. I just want to make sure on the time. Oh my goodness gracious. My legs, like I lose circulation in my legs. Probably because I don't sit like a normal person in the car. I like want to put my foot behind my head. All kinds of craziness. All right, herbs. You probably have most of these herbs at home. And if you're doing the printout off of Etsy, you're going to see what I'm about to tell you, but on top of these, I would also recommend cilantro. Always keeping something with cilantro on hand, even if you are a cilantro soap person, because cilantro will actually help you in the event of a tummy bug or food poisoning. It helps with both of those things. So cilantro is pretty amazing. And then you have rosemary, which is great for digestion and gut health. It boosts your immune system. It's a great stress reliever. It balances your hormones, brain function stimulant. It supports your respiratory health, prevents cancer, detoxes your liver, treats gum disease, supports your eye health. It's anti-inflammatory, it's a diuretic, and it supports blood flow. My goodness, rosemary is like where it's at, right? Everything. Thyme is also good, supports your respiratory health. I like to use thyme in a cough syrup because it does suppress your cough. And it's safe-ish during pregnancy. I don't want to say it's 100% safe because in 5 years they're going to say it's probably not, or something like, or if you look it up, it's going to say this has not been tested, not recommended, blah, blah, blah. But if you're only taking a little bit for a cough, you're fine there. Basil is great for like if it's fresh, you can just like crunch it up and use it on bug bites and stings. I've personally done this with my youngest. She got stung by a wasp and she came running to me out in the garden, and I just grabbed a leaf of my basil, crunched it up in my hand, and slapped that baby on there. And it helped her like immediately, gave her immediate relief, and within just a little bit, just a few minutes, like you couldn't even tell that she had been stung. Basil also sharpens your memory. It induces sweating. So again, it's going to bring down that fever. If you're running a high fever, it's an expectorant, so it's going to help you cough out the gunk. Soothes a sore throat, treats asthma, bronchitis, cough, cold, and flu, strengthens kidneys, reduces cholesterol, can be used as an anti-stress remedy, purifies the blood, and helps with mouth infections. Mint is so powerful. I love having mint just close by, growing somewhere near my house, because if you are a person that gets migraines, I haven't gotten a migraine in a really long time, but if you're a person who gets migraines, and you get that feeling, you can feel it coming on. If you get migraines, you know what I'm talking about, because you can always tell. You get that feeling that it's coming on. What I've done in the past is I will go out there and I will just get like 2 or 3 mint leaves, and I will start chewing them one by one until that feeling goes away. And as long as I catch it right away, I don't get that migraine. It stops it in its tracks. So pretty amazing with that. But most people know mint is going to help you with your tummy, helps with digestion, but it also improves brain function. Again, it can relieve muscle aches, improve cold symptoms, and then it's a nasal decongestant. The good people at Vicks know this. Some other plant allies, red raspberry leaf is nutrient rich, promotes healthy pregnancies, great for uterine health. During pregnancy, you want to do everything in moderation. People are like, have ginger. Well, guess what? Too much ginger can be abortifacient, okay? So be careful with your ginger. Be careful with anything during pregnancy, okay? These things can support you, but you do have to be careful. Red raspberry leaf is going to help you regulate blood pressure, boost your immune system. Again, can be used as a mouthwash for canker sores and gingivitis. I've recommended it to women in menopause to help support their hormones and just kind of help them get through the rough patches with that. Tomato leaves are great. And with any herb, be careful on how much, okay? Make sure that you're getting to know these plants before you just jump in and take it every day, 3 times a day, 12 times a day, whatever you're doing. I know with the oils, people got used to just lathering themselves several times a day, but you really do need to be careful. So, lowers cholesterol, promotes healthy digestion, helps with weight loss, improves your heart health, cardiovascular health. I'm sorry, I need some water. I am just getting so hoarse here. Excuse me. Oat straw. If you're allergic to latex, the latex gloves and things, be careful with oat straw because it's high in silica, which is what's used to make latex. So, but it's great as a stress and anxiety reliever, supports healthy hair, skin, and nails, boosts your cognitive function, fights fatigue, helps withdrawal symptoms of weaning off of drugs and alcohol. Isn't that amazing? Stinging nettle is nutrient rich, reduces inflammation, treats enlarged prostate symptoms, treats hay fever and allergies, lowers blood pressure, aids in blood sugar regulation, builds your blood to strengthen your body, and overall, just your overall health during sickness. I'm not going to go over the last 3 pages of my slideshow. Y'all can go to my Etsy link and get those there. It's just a couple of lists of resources if you want to dig dig deeper on your own, and there's a couple of recipes in there too. If you did get the supply list that I have listed in the event, I want to encourage you to do some experimenting and just use one type of plant in each, whatever you're making, acetum or tincture. If you're doing it with vinegar, then it's an acetum. If you're doing it with vodka, then it is a tincture. If you're doing dry herbs, you only do half of your jar with your plant matter, and then you're going to fill it up all the way with your vinegar or vodka. Okay? If you are doing fresh plant matter, you will fill it all the way with your plant matter. Chop it up some. You're not going to emulsify it like with a blender first. Like, don't do that. Don't make it unrecognizable. Treat your plants with respect, please. Chop it up to create some more surface area on your plant for extraction. But give it a good chop. Put it in your jar all the way to the top with your plant, and then put it all the way to the top with your vinegar or your vodka. Cap it, label it. Always label your jars. You're not going to remember in a couple months what it is that's in there. And now I've got a full cupboard full of jars, and if they're not labeled, I don't know what's in them, because things become unrecognizable after time, mostly because you're not looking at it every day. So anyways, label it, let it sit in a dark cupboard, cool dark cupboard. Don't put it out in your garage or anything like that. Make sure it's staying cool, and then let it sit for 6 to 8 weeks, and then you can strain it at that point and try taking a little bit, see what it does. Start with a drop, wait 15 minutes, doesn't do anything, do a few drops. And if you haven't had a reaction, no burning of your tongue, no hives, no swelling, no headache, no vomiting, you're probably not allergic. And then you can go on and try using it to treat yourself for whatever it is that's going on. Anyways, so that's my live for today. Sorry for all the bumps and background noise and all of the craziness. We are road tripping to visit family in New Mexico. Last minute, spur of the moment. So anyways, I love y'all, and if you have any questions, please feel free to message me. Okay, I'm available. Message me, let me know what your question is, and I will do my best to help you find the answer. If I don't know the answer, we will learn together. All right, y'all take care, and thank you for homemaking a homemade home with me today. Bye, y'all.